So well, cameraman's going to tap me to say we're on.
It's always on. We don't have anything to switch to this morning. So if you don't want to be heard, mute your mic.
Which is where?
Where's the little volume thing? There's a mute switch.
That's plan B.
That's plan A.
Or A.
Oh yeah, you've got the switches and the toggles and yeah, that works too.
Okay, mute your mic.
Mic's hot.
Mic's hot.
All right. Whatever.
I think we'll be good with that until we have to go back to the starting line. We'll have to go a little faster. You might have to capsize it, as they say. Close it.
Muted? Is your mic muted?
I don't know. It's not. I can't hear myself. Oh, check. Now I can.
Okay.
That worked.
All right, we have a start for the first race of this morning's competition. Men's Open 4. Lane 1, Cal Lightweights. Lane 2, UC Santa Barbara. Lane 3, UC Davis. Lane 4, UC Santa Barbara. Lane 5, UCLA A. Lane 6, UCLA B. Got quite a headwind as all crews got away cleanly. Early race leader in lane number 2, the Gauchos from UC Santa Barbara. You have to go way left, right along the docks.
I'm gonna go real right.
Okay.
Well, what's the point? The boat's over here.
This morning's action takes the races from the west end of Lido towards the east end of Lido. Traditionally, the races run in the other direction. So we've got a very strong outgoing tide and a very persistent headwind. And a 4 with coxswain that makes for a long race. We're coming up to the fleet now. We're trailing astern, and Santa Barbara in lane 2 is your race leader by open water over the Cal Lightweights, who are in lane 1. For the third place position, Santa Barbara's second boat, along with UC Davis, are within a half shell of each other. Okay, we're coming up alongside now. Santa Barbara now has open water over the Cal Lights, who has open water over the Santa Barbara second boat. Quite a good race for that 4th position between UC Davis and UCLA. The UCLA B boat is off the pace, open water astern. We're now passing in front of the Genoa Beach dock. Santa Barbara still maintains its lead, rowing quite comfortably. About a half a boat length of open water. The Santa Barbara second boat now is biting back into the Cal Lightweight lead for that second spot. Then it's UC Davis, UCLA, and of course the final boat in this race will be the UCLA B boat. They're off the pace. A little strange coming in the reverse order in terms of where we are on the course, and I haven't seen any buoys yet to indicate. Oh, I checked that. We're coming up to the 1,000-meter mark. Conditions remain the same. UC Santa Barbara's first boat length open on the California Lights. Bow to stern ahead to the third place Santa Barbara B boat. Real tight race between UCLA and UC Davis for 4th and 5th. So we approach the 1,000-meter mark. UC Santa Barbara rowing a very comfortable, for this time of the year, 34 strokes per minute. Putting a little press on now, opening a little more open water over the Cal Lightweights. Cal Lightweights still have a pinch of open water between their stern and the bow of the Santa Barbara B boat. And now UCLA is in that 4th position, followed by UC Davis. Early season races, usually the rate is down lower, but Santa Barbara, with that lead, is encouraged to keep pressing ahead. You can hear the coxswain from the Cal Light boat wanting to make sure that the Santa Barbara B boat doesn't press into their lead. But clearly, UC Santa Barbara, the Gauchos, in lane 2, now with 2 to maybe 2.5 boat lengths of open water over Cal Lightweights. Cal Lightweights with maybe 20 feet of open on the Santa Barbara second crew, and then about 2 boat lengths of open water astern. In that fourth position is UCLA. Davis has still an overlap over that UCLA crew, and the UCLA B boat is open water astern. The wind continues to increase now, and Santa Barbara has taken that rate down, having this race clearly in hand. They're down at 32 strokes per minute. Cal Lightweights, on the other hand, are taking the rate up, seeing if they can close some distance on the lead crew. Santa Barbara's B crew is being persistent at not letting the Cal Light boat get too far ahead. UCLA has opened some water on UC Davis for that 5th position, and the Bruin crew in lane number 1 trails, lane 6 trails. Really starting to come down hard now as we approach the last 500 meters of the race. Big drops on the water. Santa Barbara still on the lead. Getting longer, taking the rate down, just ensuring that they get through that finish line without incident. About 250 meters remain in this first race. The men's open 4. Race leader continues to be UC Santa Barbara in lane 2, followed by the Cal Lightweights in lane 1. The 3rd position is Santa Barbara, then UCLA, UC Davis. Barring any sort of breakage or crabs caught by oarsmen, that should be the finish order for this particular race. It's getting even windier now. Not whitecaps yet, but close to it. About 150 meters remain. Santa Barbara is your race leader. Then it's Cal Lights, UC Santa Barbara's second boat, UCLA A boat, UC Davis. We're going to turn around here to be on time for the second race. First race, men's open 4. Those are your finish positions. Race number 2 is on the course. That's the women's varsity 4. The starting time scheduled for 8:10. Lane 1 is UCIrvine. Lane 2 is UC Santa Barbara. Lane 3 is Cal Lightweights. We've shifted to the Coast Highway side of the course now, and lane 1 is furthest away from our position, as you'll see it in the camera. As the boats come to us, we're at the 750-meter mark. And right now, it looks like the Anteaters from UCIrvine are your race leader. And Cal Lightweights, as you can see, have an overlap on Irvine. Third position is UC Santa Barbara, about a boat length of open astern. So good race between Irvine and the Cal Lights. Headwind like this, length is important. Power through the finish is extremely important. Get as much push, as much run per stroke as you can. Take a stroke check here on the two boats. Cal Light's now making a big move. They're almost level with UCIrvine. Cal Lightweight's here in the red Vespoli shell, yellow singlets. Irvine over in the white shell, blue and white singlets. Cal Lightweights giving it all they've got, being lighter than heavyweight women, now have a 2-seat advantage over UCIrvine. Santa Barbara still open water astern, but a good race for that first position between these two crews. Irvine now making a big push, trying to leverage back into this race. The coxswain's lying down in the bows of the boat. I can see the Irvine coxswain looking over at the lightweight crew from California. The Cal coxswain now looks over, and they're going to counterpunch with a 10 of their own. Very nice bow ball to bow ball racing, the way you want it. 1,000-meter gone. You'll see the orange buoy here in the foreground. California seemed to have won that contest in terms of leverage push. They now have 4, maybe even 5 seats on UCIrvine. Very long race in these conditions, particularly in 4s. And it's a question of one crew breaking the other. Right now, neither of these crews wants to relent to the other. Very scrappy rowing here from California. Now working to get an almost a full length advantage over UCIrvine. Santa Barbara remains astern by 3 or 4 boat lengths of open water. Irvine making a push once again. You have to continue to counter punch, or else the lead crew will just sit on the lead, doing what's just necessary to hold off that second place crew. So Irvine making a big move here. They've reduced the difference by about 40 feet. You can tell when they take a power move, the outside hand that supports the left, starboard, the right, starts to accelerate a little bit more. All right. UCI made a bold move. Now California needs to respond. Irvine taking another 10, realizes they might have the Cal crew on the ropes a bit. They're almost level. California rowing at 28. You can tell by the sound in my microphone how windy it is. It's probably blowing about 8 to 10 knots. Not white caps yet, but getting close. Irvine's being very persistent. They're rowing at 29.5, close to 30. As we approach the 1,500 meter mark. 500 meters remain on this 2,000 meter course. Race leader now is UCIrvine. The question is, can they break the spirit of California? Both crews exerting a lot of effort to stay in this race. Irvine really moving out now with a full boat length advantage over California. Santa Barbara crew has closed the gap a little bit for that third position. But I must say that the Anteaters from UCIrvine never gave up when they were down by almost open water, coming back now to lead by a sliver of open water. Just as I say that, the Cal crew becomes very vigorous again, working to close that gap. We're coming right to the end of Lido Island now, the traditional starting line for the course if we were going the other direction, with UCIrvine now with a quarter boat of open water over California. California in that second spot has a 2 boat lengths of open water lead over UC Santa Barbara. It's the Women's Varsity 4, event number 2. Got a little cross traffic now as the 8s are starting to come out from the upper bay to go around to go to the starting area. We're going to follow this race to the finish because California is coming back in bold fashion right now. They're only 4 seats down. Very tenacious, not relenting at all. The wind continues to increase. Bow person, the California boat, just looked over. A little bit of panic now in the Irvine crew. We've got some individual rowing, partial crabs. Oh, a crab from the bow person. Now California is level. Oh, too bad. Irvine just had a boat stopping crab. California staying level in these challenging conditions now. Have 4 seats, 5 seats, they're moving away. The flag is up at the finish line. Irvine now taking it up, seeing if they can perhaps have a buzzard beater here. But that one crab really killed their momentum. 10 strokes from the finish. Irvine putting a push on. California going up. California staying up. Irvine really coming back strong, but the flag goes down with California, your race winner, unofficially, followed by UCIrvine, followed by UC Santa Barbara. Race number 3 is now at the starting line. That would be the women's second novice 8, lane 1, UCIrvine, lane 2, UC Santa Barbara. Unfortunately, the crews are flip-flopped. Lane 1 is in lane 2 and lane 2 is in lane 1. So, if you're watching this, Santa Barbara is in the yellow tank tops and UCIrvine is in the navy blue with white stripes. The aligner is getting the boats lined up here. Rain's let up, but the wind still persists. Crews are sitting ready. Go. We have a start. With novice rowers, anything can happen. Particularly in conditions like this, it can be a water fight. But so far, they've made their way out of the starting blocks. Normal procedure for a race is go from no speed up to hull speed. And the way you do that is by taking fraction strokes for about 4 and then high strokes for about 20. Then you make a shift, establishing length and rhythm, and you have a race pace. And then, as we saw in the last race, depending upon what your opponent is doing, you can put some certain exertion, unified exertion together to try to break their spirit. Right now, Santa Barbara in the yellow tanks has about a 5-seat lead over UCIrvine. The pictures tell the story. We've got a lot of people looking out at their oar, particularly the person at 2 here in Irvine. Tends to make you short and a little bit late. But what the heck, it's their first race probably, and they're going at it. Toe to toe, there's only about 15 feet difference between your lead crew, UC Santa Barbara, and Irvine. Irvine now, I can hear their coxswain calling for a power 10. The crews are about level. As you'll see from this race to the varsity competition, there's a lot of maturation, a lot of maturing as you row more, and particularly in the first, this is probably their first race actually. And so they're doing a very nice job of being symmetrical and making the boat move forward. Santa Barbara coxswain now looks over and calls for a power 10, basically counterpunching what Irvine just threw at them. The crews are pretty much level, even. 500 meters gone. Race number 3, women's second novice 8. Irvine closest to the camera. Santa Barbara away from the camera. Santa Barbara now moves up by about a half a boat length, about 30 feet. You might hear me refer to being seats up. That's just with reference to the seats in the boat. There are 8 seats obviously and then 8. And boy, Santa Barbara just decided, we've had enough of this, let's move. They've got 1 boat length exactly. Let me see what their stroke rate is. Wow, even in these trying conditions, they're rowing at 34.5. Irvine realizes they must put a move of their own on. Once you break open water on another crew, it's tough mentally for particularly novice crew to come back. Basics here are in and out together. Clearing the blade from the water cleanly. In the race prior to this, you heard me use the term catch a crab. Catching a crab means the blade doesn't come out of the water, which of course doesn't help the boat speed, and in fact really slows the boat down. If it's a major crab, it can actually stop the boat in its tracks. We're going to move up now, even with the Santa Barbara crew. You can still see there's an overlap between the bow of the Irvine crew and the Santa Barbara boat. Santa Barbara continues to push ahead, trying to do, oh, there's an overhead crab by the stroke of the Santa Barbara crew. So now they have to stop. She has to get her oar back. Great opportunity now for Irvine, if they're on their game, to go back and get some water. So that's as bad as it gets, or as good as it gets in terms of catching a crab. Full overhead where it gets pinned along the side. Now the Santa Barbara crew has to get straight so that they can come level, and now they're starting to row. The unfortunate thing, anytime you catch a crab, is not to panic, but to establish the rhythm again, then get the power back on, and then work back at getting back into the race. Right now, Irvine has roughly a boat length and a half of open water. Boat length roughly 60 feet long. It's very, very challenging now because you're mad that you caught the crab and you want to catch up to row too high and not be efficient. There's still, with this headwind, plenty of time for them to get back in this race, as long as they can keep their focus and move together. Once again, in novice rowing, basics are put the blade in, take the blade out, together. In fact, they've closed half that distance that they lost with the crab. They're now just about a half a boat length of open water astern of UCIrvine. Still some rain, not like it was earlier, but the wind seems to be getting a little bit stronger, almost white capping now. A lot of tenacity on that Gaucho crew. They're almost bow to stern with the Irvine boat after that boat stopping crab. It's a time for Irvine to get length and exert some effort together. They're doing that with a 10, and they're moving out, opening a little bit of water on the Santa Barbara crew. Still half a boat of open water. Irvine, your race leader over UC Santa Barbara. Novice rowing. Irvine's chosen to take the lower cadence at 27 strokes per minute. Sense of urgency now for the Santa Barbara crew as we are about 750 meters from the finish line. Santa Barbara striking the water at 34 strokes per minute, almost have an overlap on the Irvine crew. Very challenging not to take responsibility to do it by yourself, but rather to move together. Santa Barbara really moving nicely now. Their bow ball even with the coxswain of the Irvine crew. Slowly but surely they're moving back as we have 500 meters to go. 1,500 meters gone. 500 meters remain. A lot of attention now to rowing exactly with the person in front of you. Not rushing back to the stern, but rather rolling together to the stern. You can see Santa Barbara, very valiant in their efforts to come level and to come back and perhaps win this race. As we approach the end of Lido Island, they're only 2 seats down to Irvine. Irvine is losing its symmetry, and Santa Barbara has come back. They now have a half a boat length lead over UCIrvine. It just goes to show you the adage, it's not over until it's over, and we're far from being over. Another crab could be caught. Irvine now putting on a big move. Very exhausting to make an effort like Santa Barbara did. And if, whoops, got a partial crab in the Irvine crew, which has stopped their boat. That's a shame. They were moving nicely on that power 10. There may not be enough room on the race course for them to come back. Less than 250 meters remain. The Gauchos, after that boat-stopping overhead crab by their stroke oar, has recovered and now has close to a boat length of open water over UCIrvine. Once again, this is race number 3 of 10. It's the women's second novice 8 race. Because of the duration of this race, and now Santa Barbara seemingly has this in hand, we're going to return back to the starting line. Unofficially, with about 20 strokes to go, UC Santa Barbara will win this race, followed by UCIrvine. because of the closeness of the last race, we're back just after the 500-meter mark. The start of race number 4, the men's second novice 8, has occurred. In lane 1 is UCLA, lane 2 UC Davis, lane 3 UC Santa Barbara A crew, lane 4 UCIrvine, lane 5 closest to us UC Santa Barbara B boat. We're sitting right in front of the Orange Coast College boathouse right now, waiting for the crews to come up. Right now, it appears over in lane 1, UCLA is your race leader. That, in fact, is the situation with UC Santa Barbara A boat in that second spot. Bruins from UCLA with a little bit of open water over Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara in the second position has a little bit of open water over UCIrvine. And then it's UC Davis in that fourth spot, followed by the Santa Barbara second crew. UCLA stroking at 33.5 strokes per minute. Just a shade of open water over Santa Barbara. Bruins taking advantage of some calm water over there in lane 1. Smart coxswain being right over close to shore. Santa Barbara making a move here now, trying to keep things with an overlap.
Good.
Move up a little bit. Approaching the 1,000-meter mark, it's still UCLA, your race leader, by about 10 feet of open water over Santa Barbara. Then there's a lot of open water back to the third place crew, which right now is Irvine, then Davis, and the Santa Barbara B crew is in that fourth and final position. All right, 1,000 meters gone, halfway to the finish line. UCLA still maintains an open water advantage over UC SB, the Gauchos. Irvine still on the third position by about 3/4 of a length over UC Davis. Santa Barbara crew isn't out of it. There's their B crew trying to come up for that third spot. UCLA now making a move here, leveraging their boat ahead. Santa Barbara also making a move, leveraging ahead. Move left, move up. Santa Barbara's bow now sits even with the coxswain of the UCLA crew. Very wise of that UCLA coxswain to hug that shore as much as they can. Positions remain the same. About 1,250 meters gone. This is the men's second novice 8. UCLA owns the lead by 1 boat length. Oops, Santa Barbara, a lot of white water there impeded their progress. Looks like Davis now is in that third spot with UCIrvine in fourth and Santa Barbara's B crew in fifth. Go as much that way as you can. Coming up to 1,500 meters, the wind's increasing, the rain's picked up a little bit. UCLA's continuing to move that shell nicely in these challenging conditions with about a half a boat length of open water over UC Santa Barbara. Third position, open water astern, is UC Davis. Then it's UCIrvine. And the fifth spot is Santa Barbara's second crew. All right, here we are. 500 meters to go. On the lead, UCLA. By about 20 feet of open water. Second position, UC Santa Barbara. Third spot, UC Davis. Then it's Irvine, and then Santa Barbara. With the wind coming this way and the tide going out, there's quite a swell as we approach the end of Lido. And so, much like that women's race that preceded this race is not over. Santa Barbara putting on a big move right now. UCLA counter-punching with a move of their own. Right now, the bow ball of the Gaucho crew sits even with the coxswain of UCLA. Wow, the wind's really picked up. Almost white capping right now. The Gauchos really starting to impress themselves with how they're moving through the UCLA crew. Only a half a boat down now as it really gets lumpy out here. Whoops. White water going everywhere, both crews. It's a question now of keeping your wits about you. Keep the rhythm and the length together as UCLA still has a slight lead. 250 meters remain. Because of the conditions, anything can happen here. UCLA is rowing a little smoother right now, is opening things back up as they approach the finish line. Santa Barbara really came up strong, rattled the Bruin crew for a bit, but now UCLA leveled things off, and they're within 20 strokes of winning their first race of the season. Santa Barbara is not going to be denied, though. They're taking the rate up. The flag is up at the finish. Here comes Santa Barbara. It's UCLA, now by a boat length over Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara must have lost their rudder. They're coming on the wrong side of the finish line. And UCLA crosses the line first. Watch out for Santa Barbara. They might hit the officials' boat. They went on the wrong side of the finish line. Novice racing. The third position, behind you, Bob, behind you. Bob.
What? Oh, shit. God damn, what the hell are they doing over here? Fucking A.
Hey. right, because of the excitement of the previous race, we weren't able to get back in time for the start of race number 5, the men's novice 8 race. In lane 1 is your race leader. That's UC Davis. Second position is UCIrvine. Third position is UCLA. And the final position is UC Santa Barbara. We're turning the boat around here at 500 meters to go, the 1,500 meter mark. And UC Davis has a very comfortable lead. We're going to go up, and if there's not a need for us to go to the finish line, we're going to turn around and get back so that we can be at the start of the next race. With this headwind, it takes us a long time to get up here, and on these 10 minutes cycles, we can't get back in time. Once again, 500 meters to go. The race leader in lane 1, UC Davis, by about a boat length and a half of open water over UCIrvine. UCIrvine has 1 boat length on UCLA. And then there's a boat length of open water to UC Santa Barbara. We're going to leave this race to go back to the starting line, but it's Davis, your race leader, followed by UCIrvine, then UCLA, then Santa Barbara. Race number 5, men's novice 8. just made it down to the start of the third varsity race. In lane number 6 here, the two-man, looks like his gate is opened up from UC Santa Barbara. Let's take a look and see who we have in this race. Lane 1 is UC Davis. Lane 2 is UC Santa Barbara. Lane 3, UC San Diego A boat. Lane 4, UC San Diego B boat. Lane 5, Santa Barbara's B boat. Early race leader, UC San Diego. Crazy conditions. 500 meters gone. Third varsity 8, the race leader is the Tritons of UC San Diego, followed by UC Davis. They're sitting about 30 feet behind, open water. And then the San Diego second crew is in that third spot, followed by UC Santa Barbara in fourth, and then the fifth crew is the UC Santa Barbara's B boat. These varsity rowers handling this rough water much better than the novices, of course. The lead crew striking the water at 34.5 strokes per minute. That's UC San Diego. Slow down a little bit. Second place still remains the crew in lane 1, UC Davis. Tight bunch here for that second spot. The San Diego crew clearly in this third varsity 8 race, their first boat is clearly the dominant boat of this race. So the race is for second place. And right now, that would be UC Davis, one boat length exactly over San Diego's second crew. Santa Barbara battling in that fourth position, trying to come up level with University of California, San Diego. And then way off, the lead is the Santa Barbara second crew. Wind continues to increase. UC San Diego's lead boat continues to increase their lead over the fleet. Davis still holding on to that second position by one boat length over the San Diego B crew. Santa Barbara is a half a length down in that fourth position. I wouldn't call these conditions horrific, but they're not ideal. Lead crew continues to move away, now having about 4 to 5 boat lengths of open water. They're not letting up, they're not sitting on their lead, they're still rowing at 34.5 strokes per minute. The Davis crew in that second spot here, farthest from the camera, has a 6-seat advantage over San Diego's second crew. Davis striking the water at 33.5. San Diego crew with a 6-seat advantage over third place Santa Barbara. It's a very good race for that second position. The Triton's making a big move right now. Really seeing them accelerate that outside hand as they call for a power 10. And in fact, they're only 1 seat down. Davis Coxon looks over. They're going to counter punch. Gouges aren't going away. There's still an overlap between the two crews that are ahead of them. UC San Diego is now in that second position. Nope. Davis is now back in that second position. Back and forth, bow ball to bow ball. Santa Barbara still has overlap on those two crews that are duking it out for that second spot. The class of this race, though, UC San Diego's A crew. About 4 boat lengths of open water as we come to the end of Lido Island. Once we hit the opening here, there's quite a bit of opening between the peninsula and here, so the water gets very rough. This is where the crab cooker can certainly show its ugly head. But UC San Diego in that silver position now has 6 seats over UC Davis. UC Davis in that third spot has a little open water over UC Santa Barbara. I don't think things are going to change much from here on, so we're going to head back so we can watch the race from start to finish. Once again, UC San Diego is your race leader, followed by their second boat in second place. Then it's UC Davis in third, UC Santa Barbara in fourth, and the second Santa Barbara crew rounds out the field.
They've lined up right next to each other.
Heading back to the starting line, race number 7, the women's novice 8 is underway. We're going to continue to the starting line and give you a quick view of UCIrvine with an open water advantage over UC Santa Barbara. Once again, this is race number 7. Irvine with about 80 feet of open water over UC Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara here in the yellow shirts, the gold shirts, Irvine on the far shore. At the starting line now, race number 8, the men's second varsity 8. Lane 1 is UC Davis. Lane 2, California. Lane 3, UC San Diego. Lane 4, UCIrvine. Lane 5, UC Santa Barbara. Lane 6, closest to us, UCLA. The aligner is on the other end of the line from us, trying to get their bow balls level. Very tough without stake boats. Winds blowing out of the south, so it's blowing everybody towards our launch here on the Pacific Coast Highway side of the channel. In actuality, we should be pointing towards, they should be pointing more towards Lido Island until right at the moment when the starter says you are aligned, attention, go. If not, we're going to have some clacking of oars, particularly between Santa Barbara here in lane 5 and UCLA. Trying to line up is very difficult without a stake boat. Getting close to the start of this race. Attention, go. All right, we have a start. Given the conditions, everybody came away quite cleanly. Once again, if you're new to the race game, the rowing racing game, you take some fraction strokes for 4 or 5 strokes, 20 upstrokes, then you shift down. The boat's bow that's popping out on the lead right now, lane 2, California. Second position is UC Davis. Then it's UC San Diego. Then UCIrvine, Santa Barbara, and UCLA is in that 6th position. Golden Bears now with about a boat length over both Davis, who's in that 2nd position in lane 1, and UC San Diego in lane 3. UC San Diego putting on a big move here. California is not running away with this, but they do have open water. Right now the race is for 2nd place between Davis in lane 1 and San Diego in lane 3. Then there's a very good race for that 4th position between UCIrvine in lane 4 and UC Santa Barbara in lane 5. The only crew off the pace a little bit is UCLA in lane 6. California is rowing at 35.5 strokes per minute, with close to a full boat length over UC Davis. Once again, coxswain's being very smart, hugging that protected water, the shore on Lido Island. Cal is definitely the class of this particular race, but a great race for 2nd place between Davis in the all-white jerseys closest to shore over there in lane 1 and UC San Diego in lane 3. 4th position now being held down by the Gauchos from Santa Barbara. Then it's UCIrvine, and UCLA is in that final spot. Halfway, 1,000 meters, California, your race leader, by about a boat and a half of open water over the Aggies from UC Davis, who sit a half a boat length up on UC San Diego. Back in that fourth spot, the Gauchos from Santa Barbara, then Irvine, and then UCLA. Cal has taken the stroke rate down a bit, now rowing at 34 strokes per minute, leveraging that crew ahead, or their boat ahead. Great race for second place. The Tritons going to the whip here a little bit, now with a 2-seat advantage over UC Davis. Once again, Davis is in lane 1, closest to Lido Island. UC San Diego is closer to us. Positions 4, 5, and 6 remain the same, with Santa Barbara in 4th, Irvine in 5th, and UCLA in 6th. California still your race leader. Now, UC San Diego looking very strong and smooth as we pass by the 1,500 meter mark. 500 meters remain in race number 8, the men's second varsity 8 race. California on the lead. San Diego making a big move here, trying to break free from UC Davis. As in previous races, once they get beyond Lido Island, it becomes kind of a rough water affair. We'll see how these crews handle it. California now will break clear of Lido Island. And then 2 open boat lengths astern is UC San Diego. Davis sits 6 seats back on San Diego for that 3rd position. And then there's a lot of open water between that crew, Santa Barbara, Irvine, and UCLA. Golden Bears rowing comfortably. I'm sure they would disagree with my comment on that. In these conditions, holding that lead as we're less than 250 meters from the finish. With positions relatively stabilized here, we're going to turn around with California unofficially in 1st position, followed by UC San Diego in 2nd. UC Davis is taking the rate up. Then it's Santa Barbara, Irvine, and UCLA. All right, coming into view now as we get turned around here at the 500-meter mark. Women's Varsity 8, 2 entries. UC Santa Barbara in lane 1 with an open water advantage over UCIrvine. We're going to follow this race up to the 1,000-meter mark. If things are pretty well in hand, then we'll go back to catch from line to line the final race of the day. All right, coming into focus now is the Women's Varsity 8. UC Santa Barbara on the lead by about 30 feet of open water over UCIrvine. The Gauchos striking the water at 33 strokes per minute. Crews now approach the halfway point, 1,000 meters. You might be able to hear the Irvine coxswain as she's demanding more out of her crew, wanting to close that gap so you can get an overlap. Once there's open water, it's very tough to get back. Crew on the lead can just lengthen out, maybe take it down a beat or two, and continue to hold off the competition. So, at the 1,000-meter mark, we're going to leave this race with UC Santa Barbara comfortably on the lead, followed by UCIrvine. down here at the starting line waiting for the final race of the day, the men's varsity 8. Lane assignments are as follows. Lane 1 is UCIrvine. Lane 2 is UCLA. Lane 3, UC San Diego. Lane 4, UC Berkeley. Lane 5, UC Santa Barbara. Finally, on the highway side, Lane 6, UC Davis. Right now, we can see there's making some equipment repair for the UCIrvine boat. Looks like a broken rigger, perhaps. Stop it. Stop. Speaking video, you can get them repairing that boat. So the Anita crew has some damage to the fore rigger, and so they're working at correcting that right now. Just trying to get video of that. We can take a look down the course here. You can see that the wind's blowing from lane 1 towards lane 6 from right to left. So when the aligner goes to bring them up to the line, it's prudent for everybody to point towards Lido. And in fact, the boats in lane 1 and 2, if they're on their game, should stay as close to Lido as they can, be in some sheltered water. Start to go back towards the other side. Still working on the foreman's rigger of the Irvine boat. Other crews are working their way up towards the starting line. Can't say the wind's calmed that much, but although right now it's reasonable down here at the starting line. Once again, being in the lee of Lido Island, it's not quite as breezy as when we get up close to the other end of the island when it opens up. As the launch driver Bob Newman starts to head us back up into the wind, you can really feel the rain and the wind on your face. Although I'm cold, I'm glad I'm not in one of these rowing shells right now. It's not very warm at all. UC Davis here in lane 6, and then Santa Barbara with the yellow shirts on. California rowing in a yellow, I assume, Empacher. In lane 4, then it's UC San Diego in lane 3, UCLA in lane 2, and the Irvine crew now has their rigger fixed and they're coming up to the line. Probably have a start here within the next 4 or 5 minutes. All right, we have all 6 crews coming up to the starting line. Once again, lane 1 is UCIrvine, 2 UCLA, 3 UC San Diego, lane 4 UC Berkeley, lane 5 UC Santa Barbara, lane 6 UC Davis. 2,000 meters, the men's varsity 8, premier race of the morning. Close 3 boats appear to be lined up. The San Diego crew seems to be a little bit further ahead. But I'm not the aligner, so whatever they say goes. Countdown start. Attention, go. And California was trying to do something clever, and they got hurt by doing that. All crews away. UCLA and UC San Diego on the early lead, followed by Irvine, and Cal is in 4th. Then Santa Barbara, and then UC Davis. Yeah, on that start, Cal started to push off before the starter said go, and it's hurt them. They're 6 seats down. Very good boat race now with UC San Diego, your race leader, by about 2 seats over UCIrvine. UCLA's right in there. California now shifting gears and starting to move back a bit. Final 2 spots, a good boat race between UC Davis and UC Santa Barbara. Coming up to the 500-meter mark, California making a big move, trying to come up level with UC San Diego. They're sitting 2 seats down on the Tridents. Irvine over lane 1 isn't going away, taking advantage of that calm water over there. UCLA still has an overlap. Golden Bears making a big push right now, and UC San Diego seems up to the charge on that. In fact, they've taken another seat back. Irvine is in that 2nd spot. UCLA is in 4th. Then there's some open water back between UC Santa Barbara in 5th and UC Davis in 6th. Great race. California here in the yellow boat, blue blades, yellow tips. UC San Diego right next to them, about a half a seat up. UCIrvine only 2 seats down in that shore lane, lane number 1. UCLA now falling off the pace a bit, but still has overlap on the lead crews. California striking the water at 36 strokes per minute. UC San Diego matching them stroke for stroke. Coming up to the 1,000-meter mark, we should see some big effort here of these 2 lead crews, all crews for that fact, trying to push an advantage. Cal's going first. Big push. 3 seats up. 4 seats up. They're really moving. San Diego won't be denied. They're a half a boat down. Irvine still has an overlap on UC San Diego. UCLA's fallen off the pace a little bit, about a half a boat of open water in that 4th spot. Very good race for 5 and 6 between Santa Barbara, who's in 5th, and Davis, who is in 6th. UC San Diego calling for a a big press right now, sitting only 6 seats down to Cal. Irvine also making a press. UCLA's not going away. Nice boat race. First, second, third, fourth place. Then the other crews are off the pace a little bit. Cal really starting to motor now. Let me check their rating. Very level, very powerful at 33 strokes per minute. Now sitting 8 seats up on UC San Diego. Irvine is a half a boat length down on UC San Diego. The Bruins from UCLA, a bit of open water in that 4th spot. And then once again, for 5th and 6th, a tight boat race between UC Santa Barbara, who's in 5th, and Davis, who's in 6th. 500 meters remain. Your race leader, the Golden Bears from California, with UC Irvine and UC San Diego duking it out. Irvine putting on an explosive move here. Big move, big move. Pick up 4 seats on UC San Diego. It'll be interesting to see when all these crews hit the rough water out here, which ones have the better oarsmanship. Right now, Cal comfortably on the lead with a little bit of open water. Irvine in the 2nd spot, but UC San Diego is putting the hammer down. Putting the hammer down as we get into this rough water. They're now back in that 2nd position. UCLA hanging tight for that 4th position. Then it's Santa Barbara and UC Davis. Very lumpy water out here as we get close to the finish. 250 meters remain. Crews being blown from the Lido Island side towards the Coast Highway side, as UC San Diego is trying to get an overlap on California. California just realizes they've got this race won, barring breakage, and they're just holding them off at a lower, more powerful cadence. Irvine looking to get that 2nd spot, taking the rate up. It's going to be close for that 2nd position. Really lumpy, really bumpy out here as California has a little bit of open water over UC San Diego, and it's California across 1st, followed by UC San Diego, Irvine in 3rd. Santa Barbara is really pushing now to get that 4th position from UCLA. And in fact, UC Santa Barbara gets the 4th position, then it's UCLA in 5th, and the final finisher of the final race is UC Davis.